Hello, coolers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Frenkie de Jong, as it has been reported that Chelsea are ready to fight until the very end for Barcelona superstar Frenkie de Jong. This is according to Fabrizio Romano. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about new signing Pablo Torre, it has been reported that the Barca new signing is expected to leave on loan and could return to his former club. We are going to be discussing on that as well. So guys, as we get ready to it, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please don't hesitate to subscribe if you're a lover of FC Barcelona. Also consider liking this video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barca, Barca, Barca. With just 2 weeks left onto the summer transfer window, Chelsea are launching a raid on Barcelona over the services of a couple of their star players. The Premier League giants have been targeting Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and Frenkie de Jong as Thomas Tuchel looks to reinforce his options after losing a chunk of star players in the summer. However, Chelsea are not expected to have much luck in the pursuit of Aubameyang. The Gabonese international has reportedly informed the club of his desire to remain at Camp Nou, thus ruling out any possibility of a move to Stamford Bridge. As far as De Jong is concerned, it appears the Blues are ready to fight on to the very end, if reports from Fabrizio Romano are to be believed. The Premier League giants have been tracking the Dutchman throughout the summer, with Thomas Tuchel hoping to rope him in as a good potential long-term replacement for N'Golo Kante. The Frenchman is facing an uncertain future at Stamford Bridge as his current contract at the club expires at the end of the new season. With no real signs of a potential extension, Barcelona are now in the market for midfield reinforcements. That is where Frenkie de Jong comes into the fray. The Barcelona midfield is rated highly due to his technical prowess and potential, thus making him an ideal target for Chelsea. While the player has resisted attempts to lure him away from Camp Nou, the Blues are ready to step up their pursuit in their quest to snap him up by the end of the month. Barcelona too could be open to sanctioning the sale of the Dutchman, as they look to reduce their inflated wage bill that has prevented them from registering Jules Koundé this summer. Chelsea continue to show strong interest, and Chelsea are not showing any sign of giving up. Manchester United might have given up on Frenkie de Jong, but Chelsea continue to show strong interest, as Fabrizio Romano have said it himself, that the Premier League giants are ready to fight until the very end for the Barcelona superstar midfielder. I still don't get it. How on earth would they convince Frenkie de Jong? I can't count the number of times we have been talking about this. I can't count how many months or how many weeks ago Chelsea have been showing interest in Frenkie, but nothing have changed on the player side. Absolutely nothing. And when we see that the summer transfer window is fast coming to an end, with no signal from Frenkie de Jong that he might change his mind, I don't know if Chelsea will still be pushing so hard right up to the final week. But let's see what happens. Barca are still hoping that Frenkie changes his mind. Barca can't do anything about all this. I hope we all know that. The fact that the player is having a legal contract valid until 2026, until Barca show that he is guilty of having a criminality in his contract, as we heard some past few days, nothing has been said about that. So Frenkie de Jong have every right to say, I'm here, I'm not going anywhere, and there's nothing that Barca can do about it. It is all his decision. At the end of the day, his decision counts a lot. Barca might go ahead to, accept the offer from Chelsea, accept offers from Manchester United, but what the player decides is final. What happened to the Manchester United interest? Nothing. United were the first to show interest and went as far as even making €85 million offer to Barca for the player. There was already an agreement between both clubs, but the player made no statement, so there was no way for United to get that deal done. So let's see if Thomas Tuchel's side can succeed in that. But as a Barca fan, I wish that Frenkie de Jong does not depart. I wish Frenkie de Jong continue to maintain this decision of his that he is not leaving, and let's see what happens. We all know Barca are trying to do this because they have Bernardo Silva on their minds. They know very well. Frenkie de Jong feel like he's been cheated. He feel like he's been bullied. That you can't go ahead and you are buying multiple players this transfer window and you are telling me to reduce my salary or I should leave. and things like that. It feels like he's been a scapegoat in everything. And maybe looking at how the former administration under Bartomeu ruined this club to shreds, Frenkie de Jong feels like he's a victim right now, which is not his fault. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Things are still in a standstill. Nothing new about the Frenkie de Jong decision. He still continues to maintain his decision is to stay, and nothing can shake him from that decision. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona's first signing this season was not Frenkie, neither was it Andres Christensen. It was in fact Pablo Torre. The youngster hailed as a midfielder prodigy and a club hero joined from Racing Santander. Torre has bribed through the pre-season and has certainly impressed Xavi and the management. However, his chances this season would be far and few in between, as the midfielder is stacked till the absolute top. As such, it was expected that he would be part of Barcelona Athletic, playing in the third division. It seems the player does not want to do that, though, and is pushing for a loan exit, according to reports from Sergi Escudero. Barcelona are apparently open to that idea, and a return to Racing is on the table. The final decision lies with Torre, and he is expected to decide very soon. Real Madrid were scouting the midfielder intensively alongside Barcelona, but the Blaugranas made an offer in time to complete the deal. With Gavi, Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Christie fighting for a place in that center midfield, Torre would have only received a running during the Copa del Rey, and that too only in the initial rounds, before Xavi would realistically opt for more experienced players. Living on a loan is possibly the best option for Pablo Torre. If he can get some valuable playing time in the second division or with a lower ranked senior side, it will go a long way to develop his confidence. Barcelona signed Pablo Torre from Racing Santander, of course, knowing fully well that he might be a long-term prospect, a player with so much promise. Of course, the move for Pablo Torre was really inspired by that move for Pedri Gonzalez 2 years ago. And when Barca saw how that kind of strategy works well, Pablo Torre being that kind of caliber of player in central midfield, Barca had to go for him, hoping that more of the same like Pedri would come to pass one day. And definitely we still believe that it will happen. So the initial idea was Barca to sign him and send him to the Barca Athletic side, that is the B side, and maybe later on, after evaluation of how good he is there, manager Xavi will make a decision to bring him to the senior team maybe next year or maybe 2 years after, I don't know. But right now, this report have come out saying that Barcelona, the player himself wants a loan move. He wants a loan move. He does not really cherish playing for third division because Barca Athletic are a third division team. He wants to go somewhere higher, even if second division, it will be better than third division. Or maybe coming to a lowly ranked team, maybe a low side in La Liga itself. But let's see what happens as the player wants a loan move. Barcelona are reportedly open for that idea. The player needs some good experience for a much bigger side than Barca Athletic. And let's see what happens. But it will still be a good idea if it can be low. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.